know you're gonna
I
dig this.
know you're gonna dig this.
Second for one.
Second for one.
Third is taken out. And second and two. Handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle. Finds a room. Lots of room. And he's off to the races.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the sports city with the large heart, and large host, Dana the Hater from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
I know you're gonna dig this.
You're gonna dig this.
What's up? What's up, everybody? Happy President's Day, February 19th, 2024. Man, so much sports going on right now. But I'm gonna say this: the NBA F. The whole weekend was an F. Dunk contest was terrible. 3 syllables. Terrible. 3-point contest was good. Skill competition, I have no idea what they were doing out there. Steph and old girl shooting, that was probably, they should have made that the last thing because that was probably the most entertaining. We're going to talk about how we can fix this All-Star game. It's getting to the point with me, that it's getting ready to go up to the same level of the Pro Bowl, two-hand touch. The guys want to be selected because it's an accolade that helps them get to the Hall of Fame, but they don't want to really play. It just the feel of it doesn't excite me no more as it did as a little kid. Actually, I was watching got finished watching the first slam dunk contest with George Iceman and Dr. J, the center that played with the Bulls, had the mustache, facial hair. I can't think of his name right now. I can see his face.
You talking about Artist Gilmore?
Artist Gilmore. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Artist Gilmore. And if you guys get a chance, just go back and Google it or YouTube it. And Dr. J was jumping out of the gym, and the sad part about it is Brooklyn ain't been right since they got rid of him. Is there any way else we can stream this other than Facebook? Who is somebody asking? Awesome video. Okay, I don't know what it is. It is being streamlined. Our show is being streamed on YouTube as well. You go to Kevin Dixon, In the Zone Sports Talk Radio is there as well if you want to see that on there. Also, I'm getting some responses. They need stars in dunk contest. Just back in the day, MJ, Dom, Doc. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. And the thing about it is, let's go back to here. The thing about it is, though, is I'm gonna get a lot of heat from this one here, because I'm about to say something, and I know some people get pissed off. I don't even care. But I want to welcome the guest that's on the line, from Harrisburg, and for Columbus. Welcome guys. I think that is Matthew and Rich, I believe, that's on the line right now. Are you okay? I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get a lot of slack. I don't even care no more because this is the way the NBA is. NBA has become predominantly basketball player controlling the game. Since then, I think the tennis probably has went down. Um, and it's been more of an entertainment than the business. I mean, more of entertainment than the game. But when LeBron James never ever entered into the dunk contest, he killed the dunk contest because he's the face of the NBA and he never was in the dunk contest. Dr. J was in the dunk contest. You had Dominic Wilkins in the dunk contest. You had all these other guys in the dunk contest. Iceman, you had David Thompson. You had Larry Nance. You had guys that could really dunk the ball. And the thing about it is, though, is LeBron never did it. And somebody says, well, he does things for a reason, right? And I'm gonna say this: his reasoning for not wanting to be in a dunk contest because he don't want to. He don't want to lose. So what? He hasn't won. He hasn't won every NBA championship he's been in either, has he? But everybody still want to crown him as the greatest player to ever play the game of basketball. You know, I'm gonna say in this era that he played, he's the greatest player to play. But that's what they're missing. They're missing the all-star the high profile guys are in the NBA. Like Jalen Brown dunked last night. I mean I don't even know. They said the first dunk was missed on TNT. They didn't show the first dunk. And the other dunks I saw, I wasn't really impressed at all. I think sometimes you gotta be into it to be into it. And I think though, to me, John Moran said, if you give me $1 million, I'll dunk. Right? I get that. I have no problem with that at all. But what's going to end up happening is the owner's going to like, you know what? I'm just all this money for this, and I'm not the product I'm getting back is not good. It's not a good product. So we're going to have to figure something out. Rich says I have watched an all-star game in probably 15 years. They're not competitive. It's a fan experience. It's cool. I'm not going to be part of it. And I was going to I think the last all-star game I went to was I want to say it was in LA. Because I went to the one in Dallas the one year. I went to the one in uh San Antonio or something. I think I've been like three All-Star weekends. It's a lot of fun. I grant you, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of things to do. The problem with the All-Star game is though you need to probably have it in warm climate weather because you get to do more. You had it in Indiana, okay? Indianapolis, if you guys don't know, if you've never been there during the wintertime, they have tunnels to take you from one store to another store. Okay. So you're not even outside sometimes because it just gets that cold there. So I think that's an issue that they need to address. But they want to have it in every stadium, which they haven't had an all-star game in Boston since I can remember. I think that it ain't been I've been a fan since I've been 7, and I'm 59 years old now, and I have not seen a game in Boston since then. So, maybe they need to bring it back to Boston. I know next year's going to be in San Francisco, right? But still, again, like Rich says, it's there's no competition. And how do you think Oscar Robertson, Julius Irving, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, all those guys, how do you think them guys felt watching this game where the only thing they're doing is shooting 3-point shots, throwing up alley-oops, nobody's playing defense at all? That's not what that game's all about. And if you want to make an incentive or put money in there, then so be it. But make it entertaining for everybody to want to watch. Man, you know how much some tickets was going for? Those tickets ain't cheap.
$1,000,
How much?
a couple thousand at least.
Exactly. In every All-Star game I've been to, I've never went to the game because I couldn't afford to buy the tickets. But I went to the rookies game, and it wasn't really packed there, but I got a chance to watch that game. I never got a chance to go to the dunk contest or anything like that because those tickets were so high. But just the experience of going there was fun. Hanging out with my boys. But at the end of the day, The NBA has to fix this. This can be the All-Star Weekend can be entertainment. You know what I'm saying? And the game can be part of the entertainment as well. But don't make the rest of the season entertainment because that's where this is going to. This is where the NBA is leading to. And I think that with the NBA, because everybody can dunk on a 10-foot rim, raise the rim to 11 feet maybe. Make the dunks a little bit harder. Um, Even you can even go to the part you can throw a horse into a dunk contest, right? You can throw that in there. But if you think about it, guys, if you really think about it, and I can't think of nobody really in the NBA right now that's 5'6", 5'7". I guarantee you probably look at the average height in the NBA probably is right around 6'2", right?
Right.
But when you had Spud Webb, you had Muggsy Bogues, you had not Muggsy Bogues, but you had Nate Robinson, and you had people like D Brown in the dunk contest. Their dunks are better because their dunks are off of timing. They have to throw the ball off the floor. They can do a 360 catch the ball and dunk it. Where you got a guy that's 6'9", 6'10" do that, it doesn't have the same effect as a guy that's 5'8", 5'9", because in all actuality, 5'8", 5'9" guys ain't supposed to be able to dunk. You know what I'm saying? But they can. That just shows the athletic that they have. Nate Robinson wins the dunk contest, right? Was he really supposed to win the dunk contest? Spud Webb beat out his boy
Yeah.
Dominic Wilkins. I mean, Dominic Wilkins in the dunk contest. Spud Webb
Second, he should.
was 6'2", maybe. You know, at the average height in a player in the NBA is 6'6". I said 6'2", so that's even worse. That's even worse. But I just think though, if you add some things to it, and also I got another thought too, and I want to get you guys thoughts on this one also. If the NBA players don't want to be in the dunk contest, okay, then back somebody up that you know that's in the G League, the minor leagues, overseas, who it's anybody other than NBA player, back them up, like sponsor them. If they win, they get $1 million. That's life changing money for a guy that can dunk. He may not be able to play
Yeah.
basketball. He may not be able to shoot free throws. He may not be able to give you a good bounce pass. But if you can dunk a basketball and make $1 million, do you know how that life changing that would be for them? You know what I'm saying? So do
Sure.
something that's never been done before. You know, or you can go back and you can say to the people that's going to be in the dunk contest, I need you to do the exact same dunk that Dr. J did from the foul line. See if they can do that. See if you can do the same dunk that um David Thompson did, where he slapped the backboard with his left hand and came down, dunked the ball with his right hand. His hand was above the square on the side. Simulate those same type of dunks. You know, one of the best dunks I've ever seen in my life was when Dr. J dunked on Michael Cooper. Man, that was the craziest dunk I've ever seen. And let somebody simulate that dunk. Let's see if somebody can do that dunk. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get you guys' comments on this as well on the dunk contest. Starting with you, Mo. What's your thoughts on how can they make this thing better?
I got to say this first.
I gotta say
I
this
was
first.
I was looking on Bleacher Report,
I was looking on Bleacher Report.
and they said Jalen Brown was the biggest loser of the weekend. That's exactly how you get guys not to join the dunk contest. When you call them a loser, for actually a star who was actually in the All Star game actually decided to be there. You're not going to get stars if you keep calling him a loser because he lost. That's why people don't want to get in. They don't want their brand tarnished by losing a dunk contest to a 6'2" white dude, Matt McClung. There ain't nobody else to say it. Dude got hops. He got mad hops. He jumped over Shaq. Wasn't an impressive dunk? Nope. But just like you're talking about, Spud Webb, 5'7". Nate Robinson, 5'8". 6'2" now is 5'7", 5'8". Because you don't see many 6'2" dudes actually in the NBA anymore. You don't see John Stockton type. You see John Morant playing point guard. That's who everybody wants to see playing point guard now. They want to see Jamal Murray playing point guard. They want to see Drew Holiday. That's why we didn't win the championship in Boston because we had Isaiah Thomas, 5'7" or 5'9", whatever he said he is. He said he's 5'11". That dude's like 5'2". But still, I'm glad he ain't on the team no more. And he ain't the real Isaiah. I always tell him that. I wish I saw him, met him to his face. Okay, I'm getting on my own rant. I'll get off the rant of Isaiah Thomas. Back to the dunk contest. You want to get the stars in the game? Challenge them. Don't pull out money. Challenge them. Let Dr. J said, I want to see John Morant in there. Say Dominique, I'm putting up LeBron James. Each one of the old stars. Michael Jordan says, well, I'm putting up Aaron Gordon. That's how you get it. You get a star to be with one of the all-stars, one of the greatest dunkers ever. Get them to call out the guy and say, I want you to dunk for me. And have it Michael Jordan's team, Dominic's team, and let them have like four guys that they have all picked. Like you did in the NBA game before. You actually had the guys picking different guys. Let Michael Jordan pick a team. Let Let Dominique Wilkins pick a team. Have it go back to eight guys like they have for the 3-point shootout. They're not gonna turn down Michael Jordan. They ain't gonna turn down Dominique Wilkins. That's how you do it. You get the old guys to call out the new guys. That's how you do it. And then if they turn it down, they really look like punks. And nobody wants to look like a punk in these days.
Okay,
Not at
okay.
all. No.
That's a good Matthew, what you thinking? How you thinking on the dunk contest? How do you make this thing better? How do you make the weekend better? All-Star weekend better. What's up?
I'll start off with the dunk contest. So in my opinion, I feel like they gotta like go back a decade or two with the ruling, and then two to make it more interesting. The people that get selected to do the NBA dunk contest get to have a coach from the past, like a retro perspective. So that, like for example, let's say LeBron gets a coach, but his coach is MJ,
Okay.
and then Jalen Brown gets like Jalen Walls or like a throwback retro. Like if anyone of their choice that's open as long as they're open to being the coach of that current player.
Okay. Okay. I got you on that. You
Now
know,
with the all story as a whole, um, they're advertising, like you said, with the location. And the thing I didn't like about it, it's court layout. Like when they switched the court colors, like visually, like I was like, wait a minute, maybe they're not just doing the regular thing for me because that's just losing my attraction to the game because I'm so used to like the old school court, even as the court developed. Now I'm more like the old school court than I am the current court.
okay. And
Yeah.
and you know what else I was thinking? Like if I was Jalen Brown, because I wore number 7 and my last name was Brown, I'm going back. I'm gonna go back, put the number 7 on, then I'm gonna get them Reeboks, pump them Reeboks up, and try to do the little dunk that D Brown did.
He did.
That
He did.
that right there.
He did,
What'd
but
you
he
say?
didn't do it right.
Yeah,
He
but he
did, but
didn't
he
do
didn't
it
do it
right.
right.
Yeah, he didn't do it right.
Did he have the Reeboks on?
Nah, he didn't have the Reebok pumps, but he
He didn't have the
pretended like he
rebound
was
pump, but
pumping
he
up his
pretended like
shoes.
he was pumping up his shoes.
Oh, okay. See,
And
that's the
then when he
thing.
jumped over
You know,
And then
Tatum,
when
he
he jumped
pretended
over
like he did it,
Tatum,
but he did it
pretended like
after
he
the
did
dunk.
what he did it after the dunk.
I saw what okay, so if that's what he
That was,
did,
it
that
was weak.
that was lame because that was like
Exactly.
after the fact. And
Exactly.
but see, that's lame. That's lame. That's real lame. That's real lame, bro. I'm telling you right now. And I commend Jalen Brown for doing it because he's the first all-star superstar actually that went out and done it. And he said, I don't care what people say about me. I'm doing it for fun, but hopefully that'll bring other people out. I got
Be about.
who we got in Harrisburg. Is that Rich?
I'm out here.
Okay, what you got for us, Rich? What you thinking about the All-Star weekend?
I think the All Star weekend should encompass uh, basketball from all levels. Um, I'm speaking high school, AAU, college, and pro. NBA doesn't have any uh, Hall of Fame. You know, they have the basketball Hall of Fame. I mean, just do it all basketball and just do different stuff. I think the dunk contest was washed out. Um, the 3-point contest is great. I think the skill contest is good. You know, have the celebrity games and all that stuff, but I don't watch it.
Okay, speaking of
First of all, why are fewer players in the All-Star game now? The NBA All-Star, the NBA plus two.
because the G League is part of the NBA, Lou. That's why they're allowed. That's why they're allowed in. Lou,
Okay.
what's your thoughts on the All-Star game weekend? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, you know, a lot of people complain there's no defense in the game, and you know that might be true because you know it's like a third push of the players, you know, and I mean, it is really very competitive, you know, like towards the third, fourth quarter. So you need to try, you know, curl up the average, just you know, play the game. It's a game of fun. It doesn't really mean anything. You know, the trail like a you know one time scoring about. I mean, 217 points. That's a lot, and you know the defense. You know, for the other team, didn't stack up. So you have to try to make it more competitive. You know, like that. And you know, kind of silly stuff. What to go do? I do like the 3 point, 3 point contest. The celebrity game app to get that. Some of the things I think, but sometimes there's no place for it. I mean, it's supposed to be a silly event, not for those talent celebrities and stuff. They go, oh, I'll be sure that's it. You know, I know it's fun, but let's keep it to the NBA players only and not all the other comical stuff.
Okay. Speaking of the celebrity game, yo, Michael was out there acting a plum fool, boy. He was and what people don't understand or people don't realize is that if you make it to the major leagues in any sport, you're an athlete. That means you probably play. I'm gonna tell you this about Michael. I seen Michael wrestle, play a basketball game, and run track all in one day. I'm not lying. He wrestled in the morning, had a basketball game. I wrestled in the morning, had ran track, and then had a basketball game that evening. The kid could do it all. He's a straight athlete, but um, Stephen A. Smith said, "Yo, he was knocking out kids and females. He didn't even care if they was on the court." He said they wanted to call offensive foul on Mike. Mike was like, "Yo, if they're on the court, they're in the way." You know what I'm saying? But he's an athlete, and I'm glad that he showed up for 717 area code. And then on top of that, my boy Puka was out there from the Rams dunking the basketball too. So the celebrity game was okay. It was fun. I think that when it comes to celebrity game, it is what it is, man. You got guys that really want to play basketball. I mean, that want to play basketball but can't play basketball at that level, but go out there and do their thing. So it was enjoyable to watch that play. Um, I got Curry on the line. Curry, what's your thoughts of the All Star game?
Well, personally, I really don't care about the All Star game itself, and it's just gotten too, uh, I don't know. It's not like it used to be, you know that, Kevin. In the slam dunk contest, if they want to make that better, just do away with all the props. As far as jumping over somebody, every jump seems like got to be over somebody. And go back to the old way, like you mentioned earlier, you don't see somebody dunk from the free throw line uh, like Julius Irving did. So it's go back to the old way where make it simple. I don't care if you take 3, 4, 6 steps. Just make it a regular dunk where anybody can win. Like Split Webb won one year.
Yeah, I agree. I know, like even when Michael Jordan did, even though Michael Jordan did the same dunk that Dr. J did, but if you guys remember, Dr. J had his arm straight out. Jordan came back. He took the ball, came back with it, and pulled it back, and then he went and dunked it again. So he kind of jumped the same at the same spot that Doc dunked, but his ball was he put it out there, brought it back, and then he dunked the basketball. So that's another one they can simulate as well. You know,
But
and
but
it's but go ahead, Mo.
Levine drove from the free throw line
The free throw.
and went between the legs. Crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, and Carl Anthony Towns he tried to do a dunk between his legs yesterday, and he couldn't. And the ball got caught.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, I, dude, do you think Jalen Brown cares he got clowned? The dude making $300 million. He don't care that he got clowned.
He knew he was gonna get
About
clowned by Jordan.
By Jordan.
But I'm saying every other
yeah.
guy is gonna be like, I don't want to go through that.
I don't want to go through that.
But again, I'm gonna say this though. If LeBron dunks, if he gets in a dunk contest, and everybody else will be following him, everybody's like, well, if he ain't do it, why I gotta do it? John Moran's like, yo, give me $1 million, I'll do it. Man, you making a handful of money now, and you want $1 million to get in a dunk contest? Come on, man. It's not that serious. But if you love the fans that come and support you every day you play and spend their hard-earned money, you got people like the one young lady that went and seen Steph Curry spend her whole life savings on it, and then come to find out he didn't play that game. When you got fans like that, they deserve to see you play regardless of if you get paid for it or not. That's part of your contract. You want to participate in it. But the thing about it is, even if it's not even a dunk contest, even if it's the All-Star game, that's an accolade for you later on down the line to get you in the Hall of Fame. Because if you trust and believe me, if you don't get yourself in the Hall of Fame, if you have been to the All-Star game 10 times and not in the Hall of Fame, something's wrong. But if you can put that to your accolades, then that just gives you a better up on getting into the NBA Hall of Fame. I mean, not the NBA Hall of Fame, Basketball Hall of Fame, because it's not the NBA, it's the Basketball Hall of Fame. A lot of people get that confused with the NBA and the Hall of Fame, because your accolades from high school, college, and the pros can get you in. International can get you in. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, what's the tall guy that played, the Japanese guy that played for Houston Rockets, had bad feet all the time?
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, yo, he didn't even he did not average a double in rebounding the whole time he's in the NBA, but he's in the Hall of Fame. I find that hard to believe. I find that really hard to believe and understand why he's in there. Only why he's in it because it's international, and that draws that nationality to the NBA as well, because he's there. But for real, man, what did what did he really do? You know what I'm saying? What did he really do? He had bad feet. You know what I'm saying? And as tall as he was, you couldn't average 10 rebounds a game. Come on, that doesn't make sense to me. But again, when it comes to the NBA, they need to fix this. They know they need to fix this. I mean, when the commissioner was giving out the trophy, you could tell he was not happy to see 211 points on the scoreboard. There was absolutely no defense whatsoever. None. Absolutely none. And now they're saying the Laker fans are mad at LeBron, because now LeBron's going to miss the first game that they come back and play, which I think they're off a whole week after this, because it was off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So they're off almost 7 days before they play again, but he has to get treatment on his ankle. And the fans are mad because now he's going to miss a game, right? But now you got 27 games left in the NBA season, 27 meaningful games left for certain teams, and we're gonna see where that ends up going to. Also, watching the NBA game yesterday, I saw something on Twitter where Trae Young was coming out of the locker room, and the guy said, "I got $100 that you don't make the shot from here." He's like 7 seats inside, 7 seats in the aisles, and the dude hit the shot all nets, grabbed my man's $100 and kept it walking. I said, "Yo, this dude can shoot. This dude can definitely shoot." And speaking of Trey Young, there's rumors that he may be going to California to play with the Los Angeles Lakers. Um, or maybe the Clippers. I don't know. Rumors is the Lakers, but he's under contract right now, and they're gonna have to move some players to get him. There was also rumors about LeBron James getting traded to the Golden State Warriors, but also this is how the media spins things around. If you go and look it up, there also was rumors. I mean, there also was talk of him coming to the New York Knicks called him as well. But that's not gonna make the news for that doesn't make the news for the Knicks, but the Warriors makes the news. But the thing about it is, Draymond Green will be included in that trade to go to LA. He would never get a chance to play with LeBron anyway. But that's just how the media spins things around, and how um, when they first talked about it, it's like, well, he nixed the deal from the very beginning. And when he talked about it, yes, he said, I didn't know anything about it until afterwards. That I was told that the trade was that the trade had been mentioned, or they talked about the trade. Um, we all know if you're a Laker fan, you ain't got to worry about LeBron going nowhere, because he's not going to leave that $51 million on the table. It's hard. He's not. It's not going to happen. He's taking that 51. He's going. He now after next year, that might be a different story. What happens from that point on, but he's definitely going to take that 51 and run with that. Also in news, Jacques Vaughn gets fired today as the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. I'm very disturbed about this, and I'm gonna tell you why. You trade all your assets away, you get back Ben Simmons and whatever, and you expect him to win with that? Come on, that's just not gonna happen. You had Kyrie, you had Kevin Durant, you had James Harden, three all-stars, superstars on your team, and then you allow what's the good I can't stand him either. What's the coach name they hired to coach them, the point guard?
Steve Nash.
Steve, they hired Steve Nash to coach these guys. And he sticks around with 3 years, 2.5, maybe 3 years there, and they get rid of him. But then you bring Jacques Vaughn back on here, and you get rid of all those players, and you fire him. To me, that doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense, because you don't have the talent that you had before. But this is what you're gonna do to him. You're gonna fire him, and who you gonna bring in now? Who do you bring in? You know, you got Kevin Ollie, who's gonna be the interim coach for them right now. You know, so I'm a little confused about that. Then the Milwaukee situation is now Doc Rivers coming out saying, "I wish they would have hired me after the All-Star break." So this gives me inkling. I'm gonna tell you right now. I like Doc Rivers, but that guy's sneaky. He is so sneaky, because I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why he is.
He's trying to get the attention.
When Tyronn Lue was supposed to go, he's supposed to coach. He was supposed to be the next coach for the Philadelphia 76ers. Doc Rivers ended up getting that job. I don't know how, but the information I got was he was hyping he supposedly was hyping Tyronn Lue up to get the job in Philly. And then he turned and said, "Nah, I want the job." So that's how he ended up going to Philly. And that's dirty. You know what I'm saying? And so now you do this to a guy that coached underneath you, that played underneath you, Andre, that was one of your players when you were coaching at Boston. And the way this all come out, man, is like he knew that something was brewing there. He knew it, that there was an issue going on, that he's possible. He's in his interview, he says, "Well, I didn't know anything about it until I got off the plane." He said, "Then my daughter called me and said, 'Dad, they fired the coach in Milwaukee, and they talking about you the front runner for coaching the team.'" He's like, "What are you talking about?" You know, And he goes on to say that when I sat down and talked to him, he's like, "Yo, why did you fire him?" And they go on to tell him. He says, "Well, that's still gonna be an issue with that team." And he says, "Well, they told me say it is what it is. We need you to coach the team better than what they've been coaching." You know what I'm saying? But he's been there with that 3-7 since he's been there, right? You can't fix defense. Defense is all about motivation, being a better defensive player than the offensive player. And right now, they're in a pickle. And the thing about it is, Doc Rivers out really wanted, and now he's going to deal with it because they're not going to fire him. He's going to stay there. He's going to stay there and endure everything. And I'm kind of mad with Milwaukee because now with Milwaukee hiring who hired Andre, and then Giannis comes back and does that extension, right? Because who they hired as a coach, he's like, oh, okay, he's on part of the staff. We're gonna be good with him, and then you fire him. And I'm pretty sure that there probably was some issues going on. But how can you fire a coach with the record he had? It's not.
He got fired anyway.
I
I was
agree.
wrong.
I agree. It just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to me.
No.
Mo, I talked about a whole lot of topics. Which one you want to talk about before we move on to something else?
I guess we'll talk
I
about.
guess we'll talk about.
Let's talk about Brooklyn.
Let's talk about Brooklyn.
Okay.
8-23. I think that's what I saw.
I think that
After almost making the playoffs last year, actually making I think they made the playing game. Been terrible, man. Zach Vaughn been terrible. It ain't nothing else to say about it. He's been terrible. He's been a bad coach. They trying to re-sign the guy that should have been in Philly. I don't know why I always love to mess with Philly. I always love to mess with Philly though, because they the one that drafted Mikal Bridges, and he should have stayed in Philly, but they traded him to Phoenix. That was on Philly. So, but you got to try and keep Mikal Bridges. So you got to get a coach that he wants to play for. And it's obvious he can't lead that team. And when they were playing against us back-to-back games, Pam, Pam Johnson hardly ever played. Dude played well in Phoenix. Why ain't he playing now? I don't understand what's going on with Jock Vaughn, with the players and the rotations. Ben Simmons don't want to play. That ain't nothing new. But still, you got to find some kind of way to get Ben Simmons to play. If you can't get him to play, you might as well sit down yourself. So I ain't got a problem with the firing Jack Vaughn. I just wish they'd have done it at the start of the All Star break, not at the end. That's the only thing I have a problem with.
Anybody? Okay. Um, I'm frozen. What is
We hear
going
you.
on here?
hey,
Can you
We
hear
hear
me?
you and see you. See you moving. Hear you talking.
I
I brought up Philly. It's my bad.
yeah, I can't get it. I haven't seen that. I really don't follow the mix. I mean, listen that much. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just not a big NBA person.
okay. Okay. Rich, what's your thoughts
Or what? I'm sorry.
on the Brooklyn situation or anything that I talked about in the NBA right now? Any of the topics I brought up?
Um, I haven't really honestly been paying much attention. Being a Niners fan, my football usually puts precedence in basketball. So I haven't really been paying attention.
Okay.
But now I'm about to. Sorry
Okay.
about that.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool. Real quick, speaking on football, let's hit this off real quick. Um, I'm looking at some information here about about um, Aaron Rodgers. Do you guys think that Aaron Rodgers has more power now than he had last year, or do you think some of his power has been taken away from this year? I think that he has more power this year than he did last year. Now is this: are you going to bring in the players? Can you get the players to come in and play with you defensively and offensively, special teams to the Jets because it's not looking good for the Jets right now. I don't know what the salary cap look like. Um, I don't know where they drafting at right now. Um, but I'm just curious on the take of what people feel about the Jets. And I'm looking here for salary cap for them right now. Um, New York. Uh, let's see here. What we got? England, Cincinnati, Chicago, Detroit, Las Vegas, Arizona, Tampa, LA, Minnesota, New York Giants, Atlanta, Kansas City, Philadelphia, Jacksonville. So New York Jets is like 20th in cap salary. Um, Cap salary have right around 16 million left to use going forward. We don't know, and we know the cap's going to go up. Um, so if
Right.
so, if you're a free agent, um, are you looking to go to? If you're looking to go to the Jets, um, to Mo, let me ask you this question: do you still think that Aaron Rodgers can really make that difference in this team next year that we thought he could make this year?
The reason being is that team
Raise the band.
played totally when he was there, even though he only played 4 plays. All I'm saying is the defense started off really well for that team. And then they struggled towards the end of the season when they knew they had no hope because they had no quarterback. So you give them a quarterback that gives them renewed hope. The defense was stellar at the start of the year, was stellar last year. You give them back Aaron Rodgers and actually playing well because they have great offensive players. If they need to build the offensive line, if they build the offensive line, they got a chance to go in places. But still is when we get Russell or Justin Fields, though. But we're talking about the Jets right now.
Oh, we're gonna bring that up next. No. So what it says right here, reports reveal how much power Aaron Rodgers has with the Jets. Aaron Rodgers influenced several moves for the New York Jets made last season after he joined the team via trade. And it sounds like the star quarterback still has some same power, if not more, than a year later. With the sources recently were described, the Jets as being married to Rodgers. Fowler said everything the Jets do revolve around Rodgers and that the team will make as many a few moves as the 40-year-old quarterback wants in becoming weeks and months coming down the line. So the thing about it is they got the money, all right, to do some things with. They got to draft, they should draft. They have to draft well as well. Um, but I, I, man, I don't know, man. The Jets got to have nowhere else but to go up from where they came from. But I don't know if they're going to be able
Yeah.
to overtake Buffalo, overtake Miami. Um, that's the question is, can you see three teams in that division making the playoffs next year? Anybody, Matthew, what's your take on the Jets and Aaron Rodgers situation? How you feel about that?
I feel Aaron Rodgers does have more power, and with the amount that you gave us with how much cap the Jets have, I think there is a possibility that they can bring in some, not not what Aaron Rodgers wants, but a good enough amount of players on the small contracts or their veteran age. They can get the veteran contracts going and add the bonuses for the younger players just so it makes sense for the Jets' cap salary to where it gives Aaron Rodgers enough comfortability to where he's able to get those plays in. But it's all got to start with the negotiation for it when it comes to free agency. And I wouldn't be surprised if you have Aaron Rodgers on the phone trying to convince players to come play for the Jets the ownership and play their role. But Aaron Rodgers does have that more power to them. We'll find out within the next couple of weeks and then once we get to that deep part of free agency.
Let me ask you guys a question. Curry, I'm gonna ask you a question. If you're Mike Evans of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, do you have interest in going to the Jets and playing with Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know, but let me go back to your first question if I can.
Go ahead.
You asked about in my personal opinion, I think Aaron Rodgers has lost credibility when it comes to talking about bringing in free agents. Look at what happened last year and all the guys that brought in last year, and they didn't contribute. So, I mean, why would you let a player tell you who to bring in? And if I'm Joe Douglas, that's my job. I'm not going to have no player come in and tell me, I want this player, I want that player, and that player. If you're going to do that, then just make Aaron Rodgers the general manager and just remove Joe Douglas from the equation. But that's a poorly run organization where you got to depend on a player to make other free agent decisions for you. He shouldn't have nothing to do with it. Now, I would ask him what he thought, but I'm not going to go based on solely what he says.
Okay, and I kind of agree with you on that as well too. I think that I'm going to ask him, what do you think about this player? What do you think about that player? Because offensively, they gave him everything he wanted. And I think Devontae Adams is not going anywhere. I think he's going to stay. He's going to stay a Las Vegas Raiders. Once they figure out who the quarterback is, because Jimmy G's he's going to be suspended for 4 games next year, I believe, for PED. I'm really shocked. I'm really shocked at that one, Jimmy G. That's really shocking to hear that, but I think they were planning on releasing them anyway.
Yeah.
So anybody else got any comments on the Jets? Okay.
I mean,
Go ahead. Who said I do?
I get first. I mean, if you want to go ahead. That's cool. I mean, on paper last year, they looked for Rodgers' injury. But now you need to find, a good defense for the defense with Campbell. And they can find some standing quarterback. Because our safety, we're making so they need to go all around. And we'll just go with the quarterback. You need to find so because that's the biggest mistake. I think the number one draft quarterback position whatnot. That's pretty good. You have to that's where the big mistakes. I mean, look at of course, that's a hack. What did he do? He was a bust. Record quarterback. What did they do? Everything worse. All the wrong places. They have to start to set up, find some different positions, and working a special team. And because I don't really feel right now, especially Buffalo, the AFC, at least at this point.
Okay. Rich?
Another that Jets situation. Good like Aaron Rodgers, really. In my opinion, now again, I think Aaron Rodgers is probably one of the most overhyped quarterbacks in the National Football League. And the reason I say that is because if you look at where he came from, Green Bay, and they were always right there real close. But if he didn't get that team over the hump, how's he going to get the Jets over the hump? I mean, that's realistic. How he going to do that? And when he got upset and got McCarthy fired, he didn't really want the new coach they got now, but they ended up getting him anyway. And so I guess things didn't work out there, so he failed on them. And look what Green Bay done after he left. They still made the playoffs.
Right. But now, Curry, I'm going to say this to you. I think the issue with Green Bay was they never would ever draft a skilled player in the first round for Aaron Rodgers to have. They've always drafted like the second round, third round, fourth round, but they never drafted a high caliber offensive player to help him become a better quarterback than what he could have been. Because if you think about it, um, he, he proved to them that he could be the best quarterback he could be by winning MVP 2 years in a row. That right there says
What
you
what
gave you get
skill player that they put around Jordan Love? This was his first
well
year
well well
as a starting quarterback.
well. Let me finish what I'm saying. But what I'm saying with him is you give me limes and you want me to make lemonade. You know what I'm saying? And did I make lemonade and I don't have no sugar because you're not giving me the players that I need, but still you giving me lime and I'm gonna turn it into lemonade because I'm that type of dude that I can make all these guys around me better, which he has shown that he has done. I think the issue with Aaron Rodgers wasn't the coach, it was the GM because the GM was the one they have now that drafted Love. He's the GM that has not drafted it, never gave him opportunity, excuse me, to draft a first round running back, a wide receiver, a tight end, to help the offense. And Aaron Rodgers said, even though you're not doing this for me, I'm gonna still show you that I can get it done. And I think he got fed up with that, and that's why he wanted to leave. With Jordan Love, I just think that everything flowed together for him because he's nobody's really saw him in a full year. So even though we're impressed with Jordan Love this year, they make the playoffs, and there's even they got some analysts out there saying that they feel like they can go to Super Bowl next year. But this will be Jordan Love's second full year as a starting quarterback. So let's see what happens in that. We're gonna say his sophomore year as a starter. Let's see how he work the magic again next year compared to this year. So I get your point and I understand it. And he's won one Super Bowl and he lost a Super Bowl, you know, but he's not the reason why they lost the Super Bowl, you know. But again, when you get MVP 2 years in a row, that says a lot for you when you don't have the talent around you. You know what I'm saying? So if he goes to the Jets and they gave him that talent that he needs, then that's a different story. But if you bring him back the same players you had in like Randall Cobb and those type of guys that they were good players in Green Bay, but they wasn't great players. So if you want to get
Yeah, and I hear your point, but I still say if you mention him in the MVP 2 years in a row, how you get the MVP 2 years in a row if you don't have somebody catching the football, if you don't have somebody running the football? Somebody's got to do something to help you into that MVP status.
right.
And let's look at Kansas City. They said Kansas City didn't have no receivers. They boys can't catch the ball. They can't hold on to the ball. They can't do this. What did they do? The same players won a Super Bowl.
And I totally agree with you on that. But I'm just saying, if you put Mike Evans or you put a great wide receiver with him in Green Bay, I think he wins another title. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's one of the things he's
Didn't
missing.
he have Devontae Adams?
And Devontae Adams got traded because he wanted his money. He knew he wasn't gonna get it in Green Bay, so he was like, okay, fine. Especially when they gave Aaron Rodgers his money, they Devontae Adams said they talked. They talked about it, and he said Aaron Rodgers told me, he said, "Yo, go get your money," and that's why he got traded to the Raiders because he knew they would pay him, but Green Bay wasn't going to pay him. So I get your point, and all I'm saying is at New York with the Jets, if they allow him to bring in those type of talented players to that team, it's going to be a different team. Rich, you had something to say?
I think Aaron Rodgers coming off major injury and being a year older doesn't make it that appealing for if I'm a wide receiver, I'm not rushing out to go run to the Jets to go play with Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly.
I think Mike Evans will be a fool to go that direction. Like I think he should go younger, with a younger quarterback. Say Houston would be a good landing spot for Mike Evans. That gives Stroud a major piece, and they got the money to pay.
Yes.
I think that would be huge for their offense.
Yes.
I think even going to Jacksonville, that'd be a nice spot. Maybe somebody could stay in Florida. To give Trevor Lawrence somebody else to throw it at. I think him and what was it? That was good this year. Ridley. I think him and Ridley would be really together.
Yeah, Ridley's a free agent
I
this
just
year.
don't think the Jets are a spot.
Okay, and I agree with you. I mean, you look at his age, you look at the injury that he had. It's hard for guys to come back from that. So I kind of agree with you on that right there. I know that Doug Peterson's job's on the line next year for Jacksonville. Let them lose 3 games in a row. He think it's hot down there now. It's gonna be hotter than fish grease for that guy. Moving on to Pittsburgh Steelers.
Absolutely.
So Pittsburgh needs a quarterback. Okay, and I'm hearing rumors. These are the rumors I'm hearing is that Russell Wilson may not be leaving Denver. He may be asking. They may be asking him. They may be asking him to restructure his contract so that they can use some money to get somebody else. So that leaves my boy Justin Fields out there alone as a suitable replacement in Pittsburgh. But I'm hearing that maybe that might not be the place for Justin Fields. So that only leaves one person
I
left,
don't know
man.
why not.
That only leaves one person left. That
Sam
leaves
Darnold.
that leaves one person left. Kirk
There's
Cousins.
3, bro.
So
Right,
There's
that
3,
is.
bro.
so are
It's
you
three, bro.
so are you okay with Kirk Cousins coming to Pittsburgh?
No, because he would be
No,
the most
he
expensive
would be
option.
the most expensive option.
Who you want? If you're the
All right,
GM,
All right.
if you can make it work, if you can make everything work, draft picks and all that other stuff,
I'm
who
gonna
you
give
want
you. I'm
there?
gonna give you. I'm gonna give you
I'm gonna
four
give you.
different
I'm gonna give
scenarios.
you 4 different scenarios.
Okay.
Best scenario:
Best scenario:
Russell Wilson gets cut.
Russell Wilson gets.
He's already selling his house in Denver, so he knows he's getting cut. Reason being, we want Russ is because he's already won a Super Bowl. He also is not going to be expensive because his whole contract is going to be paid by Denver next year. So we signed him for a veterans minimum, and he doesn't even count against our cap because we have 49 players that are going to make more than the veteran minimum. He would be the best option for us. Number two, trading for Justin Fields. It's going to be an expensive pick because now they're trying to sell him like he should be a first round instead of a second round, but nobody's going to give him a first round pick because they know you're taking a quarterback. So then it's going to be, do we make this a conditional pick where we give a second round this year and then a third next year, but then that third can be conditional all the way to a first round pick if he becomes an all pro, which is fair because if you get an all pro quarterback, that makes sense. So again, they're going to want 2 picks, one in this draft, and probably a second round this pick, and then a conditional pick in 2025, which I get, and that's the second best option. Just because we would actually have to pay him a year from now, but I think he's the better quarterback of the two. Third one is actually bringing in Ryan Tannehill. Reason being is because he already has played for Arthur Smith in Tennessee. He resurrected his career. We don't need a great quarterback. We just need a good quarterback. But he's already played in the system. He already knows the system. That's why Ryan Tannehill makes the better sense. Fourth, bringing back Mason Rudolph to compete with Kenny Pickett. That, unfortunately, is probably the easiest of the 4 to make happen, but not the ones that the fans want. We all want a better quarterback. We're tired of hearing non-losing seasons. We want to win playoff games. We want 7. So we don't want that. Even though Mason looked good in those games, we have a home playoff game. We might have won a home playoff game, but I don't think we can win a Super Bowl with Mason Rudolph as the quarterback. Fifth option is Kirk Cousins. It makes no sense because he would eat up mostly all of our cap space. We still need a cornerback. We still need a left tackle. We still need to rectify our safety position because we at one time we lost 3 of our 4 top safeties were out of the game. So we're playing with no name guys who were um um from the 16 player practice squad. We had guys playing on the practice squad starting that game. So we don't want to see that. We want to have depth. That's what our GM and our assistant GM want. So best option is Russ because we don't have to pay him. Then we can actually build a team around and get a left tackle in free agency. Draft a center with the first round pick. Draft a cornerback in the second round. That would be awesome. But yeah, I'm not trying to have Kirk Cousins because that's just too much money put on one player.
So let me ask you this question though: what the scenario with Russell Wilson? What if they come back and say we're gonna keep him, but we want to trade him? But now y'all gotta eat some of this money.
Ain't nobody gonna trade him. What?
Y'all not gonna trade for him?
Nah.
Even,
Unless they paying the whole salary.
And but what I'm saying though, even though that he sold his house, he's still underneath contract, right? So if what if a difference say,
He
yo,
hasn't
we're not
sold
going
it yet.
to
He's put it up for sale.
he's saying, but this Denver saying like, yo, we're not gonna eat all this money right now. We're not gonna eat all this money, right? And listen to this scenario that I'm going to say to you. We're not gonna eat all this money. We're gonna go to him and say, yo, we need you to restructure your contract, right?
Why?
And he says
He
yes.
has them by
Then
the
they, now, I'm not saying they don't, but what I'm saying to you that if they come back and say, yo, can you restructure your contract, all right, so that we can get players that we need to help us win games, and you stick around. But if you don't feel comfortable with this, we'll send you somewhere else, right? That could be a conversation they could have, right? Because they don't want to eat all that money.
Yeah, it should have been a conversation that they had before they benched him.
Well, true, but again,
They
let me ask you a question. Do you think the benching came from the head coach, or you think the benching came from the organization?
probably from the head coach because the head coach thinks that he runs the organization and he didn't want to pay him next year.
I don't know, man.
Come on, man. You know Sean Payton has the biggest ego out there.
I know he does, but I don't know if
Sean
he.
Payton talked about he didn't want Russ out there kissing babies.
But see, that's because Sean Payton's all about staying focused on the game, and Russ was doing a whole lot of other stuff, going to concerts, had his own little class. I mean, had his own room in the locker room where nobody bothered him. He cut all that out. It's a team
Yeah,
game. You
for
got
the
to be part of
Seattle.
the team. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is though is that Sean Payton is a different type of dude. You know, and see, we knew how he rolled in Seattle because look, the defense told you. He said, "Yo, he be 9-1-1, all of us to ownership about us doing this and doing that." But he's sitting back to chilling, getting paid nicely, while we got to struggle and eat peanuts while he's eating caviar and eating with the owners and all that kind of stuff in Denver. I mean, in Seattle. And
And what
so
quarterback is
the
not
thing
doing that
about
except for Tom Brady?
well, no, I'm just saying Seattle was a different monster because
They
he
were
got
defensive
there
led.
and they gave him the key to the city before he got the key to the city. If you think about it, because they had two other quarterbacks. Matthew, what's the other two quarterbacks they had in Seattle when they
Matt
drafted him?
Flynn.
It was two. It was another quarterback that
They had, I believe,
They had just signed Matt Flynn, gave him a $10 million signing bonus.
and they had Seneca. You said Seneca Wallace.
yep.
So okay, so Matt Flynn was the one they signed off of Green Bay because he did all that good stuff, and they figured it. But Russell came in there and won the starting job. Once he did that, it was a done deal. You could see that he was going to be the man there. It's just that Seattle drafted really well during those years that he was there, and then once everybody figured out, okay, well, I can get a second round, third rounder like they do, and pay less money and still be competitive, and that's what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? But then it came down to the money situation, and that's when the defense was saying, "Yo, man, you tripping? You really tripping on us?" And so most of them left. So, and the thing about it is, I don't even think there was an issue with I don't think there was an issue with Pete Carroll and in the quarterback and Wilson. I just think it was an issue with Wilson not wanting to run that type of offense because Warren Moon came out and said the problem with him is that they need him to stay in a pocket, right? And he doesn't want to be that pocket tapping quarterback. Because you think about he's what 6 feet and the lineman average 6'3", 6'4". So when they stand straight up, he can't see anything. You know what I'm saying? But that's where he wanted to get out of that. And that's why he kind of went to Denver, where he thought he's gonna be able to do what he wanted to do in Denver. Sean Payton came in and said, "Oh, stop, time out." Well, I'm just saying though, it's gonna be a conversation that's gonna be trust and believe me, the conversation is gonna come up about the contract part of it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think Seattle wants to eat all of that and let him walk, especially to an
Denver.
AFC team.
Denver.
You know what I'm saying? That's the part. If
They
they
have
was an
no
NFC
leverage
team,
though.
They have the leverage though.
they don't, but they still can have a conversation. You know what I'm
They
saying?
messed
They
it
can
up
still
when
have a
they put
conversation.
it out there.
They put it out there.
True. They shouldn't. They should have never done that. They should have never done that because now he knows. He's like, my time here is limited. But again, now reading some things is going on. They're like, well, maybe we put the cart before the horse too fast for Russell Wilson. You know what I'm saying? And now maybe you want to retract what we said. And then there's nothing wrong with doing that to say, we apologize, we made a mistake. We want to keep you and move on with that. But again, if they go into a conversation where they're saying, can you take a pay cut so that we can get some players to come in and help you win games? When they do the pay cut thing, look for a trade or look for being cut because they got what they wanted now, and so they can move on. And I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I know you still got to have the uncomfortable conversation, regardless if you want to or not. You know, but
This 39 million is
This
guaranteed.
39 million is guaranteed.
but I'm just
Why would he
saying,
take
I
a pay
understand.
cut?
How about you take a pay cut?
I'm just saying they're guaranteed, but they can go back and say, let's restructure your contract where you
Well,
don't get
why would
all
I?
this money.
Why would I?
And I'm saying if they plan on if they were to think about keeping them, or they had a conversation about, well, we want to keep you, but we can't keep you at 39 million. We can keep you at 32. We can keep you at 31. We can keep you at 30. You know what I'm saying?
So
I'm
why
just
am I
saying
giving you back
Why
7
am I
million?
giving you back 7 million?
it's got you still gotta have the conversation. You still
So
gotta have the
why would I
conversation.
give you back
Why
$7
would I
million?
give you back $7 million?
Because I'm gonna get players that's gonna help our team win.
You showed me you didn't want me
You
last year.
told me you didn't want me last year.
I'm
I
just having a
agree.
hey,
I'm
I'm
just
doing the
like,
same
hey, I'm doing
conversation
the same
that I would be
But
if I
the
conversation
was
thing
that
is,
Russ.
I would do
I,
if I was Russ.
I apologize for what we
Sierra
said.
said
We
Sierra
Sierra
said
said that she needs
Sierra
a
said
new
that she needs a new
I'm
Michael
not worried
Kors
about. I'm not.
bag.
Kors
She wants
bag.
I'm sorry
all
She
about.
these
wants
I'm gonna
things.
say.
all these
I'm gonna
bags.
say,
That's $7 million.
Sierra. I
That's
understand you.
$7 million.
I'm gonna say, Sierra. I understand your concerns, but you have your own job. You got your own money. We're trying to negotiate a new contract with Russell Wilson here, because we feel like he still could be the quarterback that we need. And in the back of their mind, they're saying, "Yo, we're gonna get rid of him the first chance we get, but we just can't. We're not going. We just can't eat all that money." And it does. I mean, I don't know. It's going to happen. I mean, I think Russ will do well in you guys' offense. I would love for Russ to come there so we just can pound him. I love pounding on Russ. I love pounding on Russ. I really do. I would love that. I would love that situation
You don't
there.
want to see Russ in
You don't
Um,
Pittsburgh.
want to see Russ in Pittsburgh.
moving on, Chris Jones, defensive tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs, is up for a contract. Kansas City said they're not going to franchise him, but they're going to pay him handsomely. If you're Chris Jones and I am another team in the NFL, I'm going to definitely overpay you. Do you guys think that will happen to him? Or do you think he's going to say, you know what? Don't worry about Kansas City. I want to repeat. I want to three-peat. So whatever you give me this year, I'm good with it. Long as my guarantee money is nice. I don't know what the average I don't know what the average defensive tackle is going for right now. If he looking at Aaron Donald money, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money that he's looking at if he's looking at something like that. So I don't know if Kansas City can afford that. But um Matthew, if you're the let's say the Raiders, is you gonna overpay for Chris Jones, or you're not even gonna have a conversation with him?
If I were the owner of the Raiders right now, I would overpay Chris Jones because there's a lot of potential in him. Currently, you see, you're hearing about him, but not as much to the point to where the leagues want to talk about him every weekend. I look at Chris Jones as his tapes and all, and just watching him play each weekend. There's a lot of potential he can have. What coaching staff that the Raiders currently have, I would definitely be on the move to overpay him, even bump it up even more to that point. But there's some competition on the payroll.
Okay. Kerry, how would you handle the Chris Jones situation if you're Kansas City or if you're Chris Jones? How do you handle that?
Well, I would probably go ahead and test the waters out there because he's already won championships, so that's nothing. He's reached that goal already. So now it's all about money now, and I don't blame him. I'm going to go for anything right now. I'm going for the biggest payday. If I end up out on the West Coast somewhere or that I really don't want to play with, it's money the best. That's why I'm going.
So right now, looking at the cap, Washington has money, Tennessee has money, Houston has money. Houston's going to be, like Rich had just said, Houston's going to be a drop-off point for a lot of players, man. If they can get this thing right, if Houston get this right, they're going to be nice. Cincinnati, another team that could be a playoff potential. They're number 6 in cap, and then you got Chicago at number 7 at cap. Washington got a little way to go. Tennessee, they don't. I don't believe the quarterback that lead this team down the field is on that team right now, in my personal opinion. The Colts got money. They got their quarterback. They just got to probably maybe look at some offensive players. New England, they got a lot of cap room, and you got a lot of guys who already said they want to stay there because of who their coach is. So I know what Rich said. What Houston, and that weighs a lot, man. And then you have Detroit right now, who's number 8, which they have like 61 million in cap space. Then you have Vegas at 52 million. So you got some teams out here that can push the buttons on some numbers for Chris Jones. Mo, what's your thoughts? You think he's gonna stay, or you think he's gonna leave? You gonna give them a home with a home court discount?
Hometown discount.
Hometown
I
discount.
believe he
Yeah.
does, unfortunately.
I believe he does, unfortunately.
If Kansas City comes to the realm of someone else, it's probably
Someone
going to be
else.
like 25
Probably
million
going to be
per
like
year.
25 million per year.
Signing bonus probably like 60,
Signing bonus
70
probably
million.
like 60, 70 million.
I think he stays, and the
I think
reason
he
being
stays.
is they're going to probably lose their cornerback. They're going to probably lose
their
Snead
cornerback. They'll probably lose Snead.
because most people care more about a
Because
young
most people
cornerback
care
than they
more
do
about a
about a
young
defensive
quarterback
tackle.
than they do about a defensive tackle.
So I think
Okay.
that
So do you,
because that's why they've been drafting
That's
cornerbacks.
why they've been drafting cornerbacks.
so do you think he gets Aaron Donald money or less than that?
I'm about the same, about 20,
I'm about
25.
the same about 20, 25.
I think Aaron gets a little bit more.
I think Aaron Donald makes like
I think
28
Aaron
million.
Donald makes like 28 million.
Let me look here real quick.
Because TJ Watt, I think TJ Watt made more than
I think TJ Watt
60.
made more than 60.
Defensive tackle Aaron Donald is
Around 31 million a year. Ooh.
yeah, he got 30. He's getting 34, and he restructured his contract. He
Maybe they
averaged right
won't
around.
take him then.
Maybe they won't pick him up.
That's the whole thing, right? Is that do you sacrifice money to three-peat? It's more important for you to three-peat than it is to make your money. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the Kansas City Chiefs are gonna be up against. Because it's gonna be hard to keep a lot of the guys on this team. Um, that's very interesting to see how this thing pans out. Um, because you look at so I'm looking at defensive ends. Leonard Williams with Seattle. He's 29 years old. He's making 21, right? Um, I don't know what his Matthew. What has the contribution been this year? Has it been good or been bad, or what you think's going to happen with him?
It's been good. I feel like when they come up to the next contract extension, they'll throw him leeway. The only problem is when you have a lot of injuries with that defense, it kind of messes up the stat line because he can be on the left side of the field, but then in the next 10 plays, he could be on the right side for the rest of the game or back and forth. So it's just else figures out what to do with their current cap situation, which right now they're below five. They're at minus 5 million.
Yeah. Mm.
Right now they're in the process of potentially getting rid of full half just to open up the cap and then restructure with Rocket. But for the most part, with Leonard, I feel like he will stay in Seattle. I don't really expect him asking for more unless he feels like he needs it in a certain matter.
So let me ask you guys a question. I give everybody opportunity to answer this one. Why don't we hear about players? Why don't we hear about more organizations asking players to take take pay cuts, especially if you're giving them a big bonus and giving that guarantee money up front? Dude, because you signed a contract, so you got what you wanted as far as your guaranteed money is concerned. So why not? I mean, like Seattle, their safety. I think it's safety, right? Matthews.
Yep.
Okay, the safety who is probably the key to that defense. Why not ask him to take a pay cut? You know what I'm saying? To bring in other talent. Um, Rich, what's your thoughts on that as far as like guys that get the guarantee money up front, and then when the contract is at the back end, asking them to can you get a pay cut so that we can keep players? And I'm gonna go back and say this: Dallas did the same thing with Ezekiel Elliott, but he saw that the ending was coming before it came because they asked him for a pay cut that one year and came back and said, "I'll take another pay cut," and it's like, "No, we're gonna let you go." But let me ask you, but again, getting back to the question at hand, why don't we see this with more players in the NFL than we not? Rich, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think mostly it's because they are risking their bodies and they want to get their money, but they're thinking about later, like, uh, took a lot of his money in bonus early, and like these last couple of years ain't going to be, what he was expecting. And he can, like, I want to leave because he's not going to be getting that money because he got it already, restructured. So, I mean, there's pluses and minuses. I think it's good that teams are willing, if the players are willing to do it. Like, you get a better team, which gives you a better chance to win, but you just lose a couple dollars. You don't lose if you just got it earlier.
Right,
You don't lose money.
right.
I think if you want to win, especially for the older guys like Chris Jones, Nick Less, well, he's already won his title, so obviously I'd let him walk. But if he wants to stick around and go for the three-piece for the history part of it, I mean, you got to take a pay cut. So
Okay.
you got to go.
Mo, what's your thoughts?
Pass.
Pass.
Did you say pass?
I did.
I did.
Why you want to pass on the question, Mo?
Because man, it's
It's
I got no comment. I really don't. I really don't. Not on this one.
I got you stuck on something.
You do.
What?
You do.
You do.
You do. I got
What?
nothing.
You do. I got nothing.
What? Carrie, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on this situation, man? How would you handle it?
Yeah, if I'm a player, I'm not willing to take a pay cut because for the simple reason, contracts the NFL contracts aren't guaranteed anyway. So you want me to come in and take a pay cut. When we first signed the deal, you thought I was worth the money, but now all of a sudden you don't think I'm worth the money, but you're trying to rephrase it by saying I'm helping you get other players. So, if you want to give me a contract that's guaranteed after you restructure my, after you make me take the pay cut, then yes, I'll take the pay cut, but you're going to have to offer me a guaranteed salary.
Okay, so now I'm gonna say this, and I get your point, but I'm saying to you this right here: if you already got guaranteed money up front, would not take a pay cut on the back end of your contract?
No, because that's the money that we agreed to when we first signed the paper. That that's just like me saying, okay, I got my guaranteed money, okay, and then I exceeded your expectations by my play on the field. So now this contract is no good. I want more money, or I'm gonna hold out for a new contract. So what's the difference there?
Okay, and I get your point exactly because I'm just like at this point, if I sign a contract because most of the times we want that guaranteed money up front. So if I get that 40, if you tell me 45 million guaranteed money and you're gonna cut me a check for $45 million right now, I'll go deposit in the bank, and that's what I want. I'm signing that contract. Okay. If you come back to me and say, yo, we need you on the back end of your contract, like in the third year of my contract or my fourth year, yo, can we get a pay cut? It depends on what scenario I'm in. Like if I'm Chris Jones, I'm probably gonna say, okay, I'll do it because I want a three-peat. If somebody like Devontae Adams, like he's probably gonna say, nah, I'm not doing it because I don't know, what direction my team's going in. So I think it varies in certain players. But I'm just gonna read you Aaron Donald's contract right here. Aaron Donald signed a 3-year contract for $95 million contract with the Los Angeles Rams, including $25 million sign-up bonus, 95 million guaranteed, and an average salary of 31 million and 31 and some change. In 2024, Donald will earn a base salary of $10 million on roster bonus, $5 million on signing bonus of $20 million will carry a cap hit of 34 million and a dead cap of 33. So in 2022, salary dead cap is 73. In 2023, salary cap dead is 59. In 24, its dead cap is 33. In 2025, salary cap is 16. So what he did was he gave them a user-friendly contract with them. Okay. So let's say in 2025, they go to him and say, yo, Aaron, um, can we get some of that 16 back? All right. Because he and remember and if you think about this, Aaron Donald is still working off a rookie contract because he didn't sign contract extensions twice already. So he's kind of working off a rookie contract in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So it says right, contract notes 46.5 guaranteed at signing at 2022 salary, 2022 roster bonus, and 2023 roster bonus signing bonus. 2023 roster bonus of 15 million guaranteed paid on 3/16/23. 13.5 million on 2023 salary fully guaranteed on 3/17/2023. So he's getting 15 and 18 million one day in 2023, one day and then the next day. 2024 roster bonus is 5 million guaranteed. 5 million fully guaranteed, 3/17/23. Injury guarantee is signing, no 42 language. 2024 base and option bonus of 10 million plus 20 million fully guaranteed on 3/15/2025. No offset language. 2025, 2026 year automatically voided the last year of its 2024 contract. No trade clause. So in 2020, at the end of 2024, his contract is the meat of his contract is done. So they may go back to him and say, "Yo, let's extend that 16 million out, depending on where they're located in the realm of where they're seated at as far as they see what they're going to do in the future as far as them making the playoffs or maybe having an opportunity to get to Super Bowl." So Aaron Donald's probably not the norm, right? He's probably not the norm when it comes to contracts like that because they've been user friendly with him. And he has a no trade clause in his contract, which is big for him because, like I told Mo last year at the beginning of the season, I said there's talk that he might end up going to the Browns to play after 2025 season, depending on where the Rams were as far as the bidding, or if they were close to win the Super Bowl, winning division, whatever the case may be. He was gonna say, "Okay, you can trade me. This is where I want to go." This was some inside. There was some inside information I got.
And I've responded with, where did he go to college?
He went to Pitt, but
No,
for
say
some
the full
reason,
name. Say the full name.
he went to Pitt.
What?
He went to Pitt.
Hit what?
Panthers.
Pittsburgh Panthers.
Man, stop. So anyway, but for some reason he wants to play for the Browns. But that was some inside information I got. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, then y'all say Kevin don't know what he's talking about.
I heard he won. I heard
yeah.
he came to. This is why I passed. I heard he came to Tomlin. He said, "Hey, I would love to play for you. Come get me.
Stop.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna post it.
Stop. They ain't got enough draft picks anyway. But anyway, so the free agency's coming up. This is gonna be really interesting on how we see where everybody goes with the money. They still haven't said what the cap's gonna be, how much more money is gonna cap the cap room is gonna be, because now they're trying to do something with Disney, I think. Disney and two other channels, I think. I think it's supposed to be a package deal. But again, the NFL need to fix this thing about Peacock because everybody don't have Peacock. And if I'm a Dolphin fan and I don't have Peacock and I miss that playoff game, I'm gonna be pissed because there wasn't that was not known to us until after the fact. You know, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna say the first round of playoffs, no matter who it is gonna be on Peacock, then everybody's gonna go out there and join Peacock because it could be their team. But at the last minute, you come to find out, yo, my team's on Peacock and I don't have Peacock. Somebody said Peacock, I'm thinking NBC. Oh, I got NBC. I'm good. And then we time to watch the game. They were like, yo, they said it's gonna be on NBC. I said, nah. They said Peacock. Ain't Peacock NBC? I said it used to be, but it's not the same Peacock. It's a whole completely different thing. So, that is what it is. Mo, do you have a moment, or do you want to do your Black History?
I just posted my moment.
Where'd you post it at?
Go ahead and respond to what people are posting.
Oh, wait a minute.
Go ahead, read it like you read all the other ones.
We all grew up big Steelers fans. Donald said of his family. I still consider myself a Steelers fan, obviously, until we got to play them. What that mean?
He loves his hometown.
Jason Tatum was a Laker fan until he became a Boston Celtic. So now, do you want to be a Laker now? No.
He getting paid by them. Unless he ain't getting paid by them no more.
No.
He gonna want to be a Laker.
I'm gonna do my Black History. I'm gonna keep it short, real quick. I'm gonna do Dr. J. As a Celtic fan, I don't care too much for Dr. J. Moses Malone, and I don't even know if Daryl Dawkins. I don't even know if Daryl Dawkins was on the team at
Andrew
the time.
Tony,
But
Billy
Dr. J two
Cunningham.
piece Larry Bird. He two piece Larry Bird in the game when Larry Bird said to him, he said, "Yo, you got this old man guarding me. Can you please put somebody out here on me? Because he can't do it." And Dr. J two pieced him. But what I love about Dr. J though is the fish to save Pittsburgh. Yo, when I seen him dunk in some Stacey Adams, that was all they wrote, baby. I'm telling you, if you never seen that movie, Matthew, or Rich, go out and download it on Streamline. You will love it. It's a comical movie about guys play basketball, but it's a good one. But Julius Winfield Irving, born February 22nd, 1950, commonly known as the nickname Dr. J, an American professional basketball player. Irving helped legalize, was that legalized American basketball, ABA, and he was best known player in the league when it merged into the National Basketball Association after the 1975-76 season. If nobody knows, Dr. J played for um, the New Jersey Nets, and they traded him to the Philadelphia 76ers. New Jersey Nets ain't been nothing since they did that, and I think that was a curse on them. Irving won 3 championships, 4 Most Valuable Player awards, and 3 scoring titles with the ABA Virginia Squires and New York Nets. Now the NBA Brooklyn Nets and the NBA Philadelphia Sixers during the 60 season as a player. None of the teams ever missed the postseason. He is the 8th highest scorer in the ABA NBA history with 30,000 points in NBA ABA combined. He was well known for slam dunks from the free throw line and slam dunk contest, and was the only player voted most valuable player in both the ABA and NBA. I didn't know that. Go ahead, Doc. The basketball slang of being posterized was the first coined to describe his moves. In 1980, Irving was honored by one of the league's greatest players of all time by being named the NBA 35th anniversary team in 1993. Irving was included into the Basketball Hall of Fame in 1994. Irving was named by Sports Illustrated as one of the 40 most important athletes of all time. In 2004, he was inducted into the Nassau County Sports Hall of Fame in both 1996 and 2021. Irving was again honored as one of the league's greatest players of all time, being named the NBA's 50th, 75th anniversary team, respectively. Dr. J was born February 22nd, 1950, age 73, Roosevelt, New York, New Jersey. Height 6'7", pounds 210. Went to Roosevelt High School. Went to UMass. NBA draft 1972, first round, 12th round over pick, selected by Milwaukee Bucks. Played 1971, 1988, forward, ward number 32 and 6. Played for the Virginia Squires, New York Nets, and the Philadelphia 76ers. Dr. J has one NBA championship because of the Boston Celtics. 1983, two-time ABA champion, 74, 76, two-time ABA playoff MVP, 74, 76, most valuable player, 1981, 3 times ABA most valuable player, 11 times NBA All-Star, 5 times ABA All-Star, 2 times NBA All-Star, 5 times NBA All-First Team, 2 times NBA Second Team, 4 times NBA First Team, All NBA Second Team, ABA All Defensive Team, ABA All Rookie First Team, 3 times ABA Scoring, ABA Slam Dunk Contest winner, and retired from number 32. Retired from the Brooklyn Nets at 32. Number 6 retired from the Philadelphia 76ers, ABA All-Time Team, ABA All-Time MVP, NBA Anniversary 35th, 50th, 70th Team, 3rd-time All-American, NABC UPI 1971. Number 72, retired by UMass Minutemen. Total 30,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 5,000 assists. Dr. J, Julius Irving, the best dunk ever was on Michael Cooper. I don't care what nobody's saying. I ain't never seen nobody dunk that hard on anybody in my life. One of the best moves he ever made was when he coming down playing the Los Angeles Lakers. He went underneath the basket on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and laid up on the other side. I said, "Yo, this dude is bad." Dr. J.
Yeah,
You must not
bad
remember
man.
Blake Griffin.
I remember Blake Griffin.
Oh no, I remember Blake Griffin, but I'm saying growing up, I seen I
I
didn't see a
agree.
lot of
I
Blake.
agree
I didn't see a
growing
lot
up.
of Blake.
I agree growing up.
I didn't see a lot of
Back-to-back
Griffin,
plays.
Bad plays.
Back-to-back plays when
but
he dunked on Pau
Plays when he
Gasol.
dunked on Pau Gasol.
but Dr.
I was
J,
watching that game.
I was watching that game.
that Cooper
I
dunk.
got out
That's
my
what they
seat
say.
both
That's
I
why
got
times.
on my seat both times.
they say that's why Cooper's eyes stay red all the time because Dr. J.
Pau Gasol ain't been the
Pau
same
Gasol
since
ain't been the
those
same
dunks on Blake
since.
Griffin.
Same
From
sense.
Blake Griffin.
Okay.
You need to look at that again. I
You
got my
didn't
Black
do
History
that
Month.
again. I got my Black History Month.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so you
All right,
guys know I like to do
you
somebody
guys know I
within the
like
week.
to do somebody within the week.
I could have chosen
I
between
could have chosen
Rihanna,
between Rihanna,
Sidney Poitier, best
Sidney
quote
Poitier,
ever.
best quote ever.
I am the me I choose to
I am
be.
the me I choose to be.
Horrible Charles
Horrible
Barkley.
Charles Barkley.
Stephon Marbury, the first dude to
Stephon
put
Marbury, the first dude to put
that put.
that foot.
I still don't understand the logo
I still
on
don't
his head,
understand the
but
logo
he did that.
on his head, but he did that.
John Lewis,
John Lewis,
Nina Simone,
Nina Simone,
Dr. J.
Dr. J.
Surprised you didn't do Rajon Rondo.
Surprised you didn't do Rajon Rondo.
That's our boy. We both
That's our
know
boy.
that's our boy.
We both know that's our boy.
Lil Mac,
Lil Mac.
but then I had to go with
And I had
with
to go with
one of my
with
favorite celebrities
one
ever,
of my favorite celebrities ever,
W.E.B. Du Bois.
W.E.B. Du Bois.
Born
Born
February 23rd,
February
1868,
23rd, 1868.
right out of slavery, because slavery
Right
ended
out of
in
slavery. Slavery ended in
1865,
1865.
January 1st, unless you want to talk
January 1st,
about
unless you want
Juneteenth,
to talk about Juneteenth.
1868.
1868.
But he was born in
He was
Massachusetts, so
born in
his family
Massachusetts,
loved
so
slaves by the
his
time he
family
was
loved
born.
how he was born.
He died August 27,
He died August
1963.
27, 1963.
William Edward Burkhardt Du
William
Bois
Edward
was an
Burkhardt
American
Du Bois was an American
sociologist, socialist,
socialist,
historian, civil rights
historian,
activist, Pan-Africanist, author, writer, and editor.
writer, and editor.
Born in Massachusetts, he grew up
Born
in
in
a
Massachusetts,
relatively
grew up in a
tolerant and
relatively
integrated
tolerant
community.
and integrated community.
After completing
After
graduate work at the University of Berlin
work
and
at the
Harvard,
University
where
of
he was
Berlin
the
and
first
Harvard,
African
where he was
American
the
to earn a
first
doctorate,
African-American
he
to
became
earn
a
a doctorate.
history,
He became a
sociology, and
history,
economics
sociology,
professor
and
at the
economics professor at
university.
the university.
Remember last week we talked about Carter
Remember
G.
last
Woodson,
week
who
we
was
talked
the
about Carter
second
G. Woodson,
graduate
who
of
was the
Harvard.
second graduate of Harvard.
Du Bois was one of the founders of the
Boyce
National
was one of the
Association
founders
of
of
the
the National
Advancement of Colored
Association of the
People,
Advancement
also
of
known
Colored
as the
People, also known as
NAACP.
the NAACP.
He also had risen to national
He also
prominence as the
risen to
leader of the
national
Niagara
prominence as the
movement,
leader
a
of the
group of
Niagara
African
movement,
American
a group of
activists, and they
African-American
weren't
activists.
African
They
American, they were
weren't
black.
African-American, they
They
were
were
black.
Negroes, actually.
They were Negroes,
Activists who
actually.
wanted equal rights for
Activists
black
who wanted
people,
equal
for
rights for black
Negroes.
people, for Negroes.
They try to be too politically
They try
correct
to
in
be
this.
too politically correct in them.
Du Bois and his supporters
The
opened
Boyce
the
and his
Atlanta
supporters opened
Compromise,
the
an
Atlanta
agreement crafted
Compromise,
by
an
Booker
agreement
T. Washington
crafted by
that
Booker T.
provided
Washington
Southern black
that
people
provided
would
Southern
work
black
and
people
submit to
would
white
work and
political
submit
rule,
to white
while
political
Southern
rule,
whites
while
guaranteed that
Southern
blacks would
whites
receive
guaranteed that blacks would
essential
receive
educational
essential
and
educational
economic
and economic
opportunities.
opportunities.
I'm not going to read through all of this,
I'm
but
not
this
going
is
to
the
read
most
through all of
important
this, but
part.
this is the most important part.
Du Bois was a prolific
Du Bois
author.
was a
His
prolific
collection of
author.
essays, The
His
Soul
collection of
of Black
essays,
Folk,
The Soul
is a
of Black
seminal
Folk,
work
seminal work
in American literature, and his
in American
1935
literature, and his
Magnum,
1935
Black
Magnum,
Reconstruction America,
Black
challenged the
Reconstruction
prevailing
America, challenged the
orthodoxy
prevailing
that blacks were
orthodoxy
responsible
that
for the
blacks were
failures of the
responsible for the
Reconstruction era.
failures of the Reconstruction era.
Borrowing a phrase from Frederick Douglass,
Born
he
a phrase from
popularized
Frederick
using the
Douglass, he
term
popularized using
colored
the
line
term
to represent
colored
the
line to
injustice of the
represent the
separate but
injustice
equal
of the
doctrine
separate and equal
prevalent in
doctrine
American society and
prevalent in
political
American
life.
society and political life.
He believed in capitalism,
He believed in
was a
capitalism,
primary cause of
was a
racism,
primary cause of
and was
racism,
sympathetic to
and was
socialist causes
sympathetic to
throughout his life.
socialist causes throughout his life.
And we know when socialism
And we
comes
know
up,
when socialism comes up,
people don't like it, but
people don't like
capitalism
it.
is all
Capitalism
about color.
is all about color.
Not always about black and
Not
white,
always about black and white,
but always about that color that
but
Kevin
always
is
about
wearing
the
right
color
now.
that Kevin is wearing right now.
He was an ardent peace
He was an
activist
ardent
and
peace
advocated
activist and
nuclear
advocated
disarmament.
nuclear disarmament.
The United States Civil Rights
The
Act
United States
embodied
Civil Rights Act
reforms for which Du
embodied
Bois had
reforms
campaigned
for
his
which Du
entire
Bois
life,
had campaigned his
was
entire life,
enacted a year
was
after his death.
enacted a year after his death.
So this is one of the greatest
This
Black
is one of the
Americans that we've
greatest
ever
Black
lived.
Americans that we've ever lived.
He was amazing. He
was
he
amazing.
fought
He
for our rights,
fought for our rights,
but people don't want to give him credit.
but
He's
people
one of
don't
the
want to give him
smartest
credit.
black
He's one
men
of
that
the
ever lived.
smartest black men that ever lived.
I almost named myself
I almost
WEB.
named myself WEB.
Well,
Yeah.
baby, where
Well,
you think
baby,
you came up with the
where you
World
think
Wide Web,
the
baby?
World Wide Web, baby?
All right.
Man,
Matthew, give us an update on Daytona 500, man. We know it got canceled Sunday, but they ran it today. So what's the update you got for us?
The update is race just ended about 30 minutes ago. William Byron won the Daytona 500, and Hendricks Motorsports Company is 1 win away from breaking Richard Petty's company for most wins in Daytona 500 history. A lot of wrecks. Weather looked perfect. Attendance looked amazing. They had Barack actually stayed another day just so he can do the command. Other than that, final lap was a bit catchy. Actually had to review it just to make sure that before we got to the final lap that there wasn't a wreck, because in NASCAR, in the final lap, if there is a wreck, they have to go to extra time, and they were about a tenth of a mile, if not shorter. It was like within yards that they almost had to do that, but since the wreck happened before lineage, when they flag off, William Byron was able to pass by the wreck, gain, I believe, fourth or third, and was able to get in first to finish the race.
Wow, that always happens
Yeah.
when you have a wreck like that. Hey, real quick, guys.
That's one.
Shaq got his number retired for the Magics. I'm gonna say this. Shaq got drafted by the Magic. Should have stayed the Magic, but he left to go to the Lakers. Because of money and because of the fame and everything else that goes along with being in LA. He only
Right.
spent 4 years out there. I'm at the point now where I think that players got to be there more than 4 years before you can put their number up in the rafters. I don't think he should have been the first one. I think it should have been. I should think it should have been Nick Anderson. I think it should have been the one that does the one that went to Wake Forest. I can't think of his name right now. The shooter.
Georgia Tech.
He's an announcer.
Georgia Tech. Dennis Scott.
Georgia. He went to Georgia Tech. And I'm gonna say this. I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that Dwight Howard's number should have been retired before Shaq's. You know, and even though Shaq lives in Orlando and he does a lot for the community, that's probably why his number got his numbers is in the raptures. But if you strictly go basketball, how could Dwight Howard's numbers not be? How could his number not be retired there? I need somebody. Somebody needed. No, I'm saying, but he is retired. He's okay. Okay, he's not retired yet. Okay, he's not officially retired yet. But again, Nick Anderson, his number should have been up there.
And he should have been
He was
first.
number one draft. He was the first draft pick, right?
No.
Yeah,
probably.
We could even put Penny in that conversation. You know,
I've already mentioned that.
You know, but to put Shaq's number up there is in I think it's more or less for community's sake than it is for basketball sake, because again, he does a lot for the community in Orlando, and he still has a house in Orlando. But again, basketball wise, I don't think his number should have been up there because you left us. You
He
went
gave
to
him
stay,
4 years.
and then you talk to that guy, the GM, what's his name? What's the Lakers GM was?
Oh, Mitch
The
Kupchak?
the, the guy
Okay.
the guy no the guy that has the logo on the basketball.
Jerry West?
What's his name?
Jerry West.
Jerry West. You talk to Jerry West, and Jerry West changes your mind and sends you out to LA. You know, I don't know about you guys. If your guys got an opinion on that, bring it up real quick. We got like 50 minutes left, but I got another topic to talk about. But go ahead, Lou.
Because all right, before Jack in Orlando, that was not doing very well. They were kind of like a mess. I mean, you did figure, first there was a 500 season, and then to go all the way to the NBA finals. We did a lot for the team. While I was there, you've been there for 4 years, but you did help that team get to a better level of basketball because without him, I don't think they would have got or whatnot. So you did do your window, you would have bolted on 4 years later. But you gotta give him credit for that.
Oh, I give him credit. I give him credit, but I think if I give him credit because he did help them become a better team. And I think that's when, to be perfectly honest with you, I think that's when basketball started to become more of an entertainment than a sport because they were good, but they wasn't that good. And they got some calls. Shaq got some calls that he shouldn't have got. You know what I'm saying? When anybody tap you on the shoulder and they call a foul and that craziness, come on now. That's one. But Lou, you got a great point about that, and I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I'm just saying I think that 4 years for anybody needs to be longer than the 4 years for your number to get put in the Raptors. You know what I'm saying? And people can say to me about Kevin Garnett's number being put up there, and the Raptors. What'd you say, Mo?
How long did he play in Miami?
Oh, I did.
4 years.
No, I'm saying Miami.
You mean Orlando?
Miami.
Oh, Miami. Maybe 3.
13.
I remember 3 years, maybe, because they traded him to Phoenix. He wasn't there long either.
4 years there too, but he won a championship.
Yeah, but yeah,
he already in reference there.
But still, man, you. So, well, me being a Boston fan is the reason why I look at numbers being retired differently than anybody else do because
it's their first
the numbers
one,
that been
gotta be Shaq. It should have been Shaq or Penny.
I'd rather Penny be up there than Shaq.
Yeah, I do too, but at the same time, you're like Shaq. You know both of them are gonna be up there.
I'd rather have Penny up there than Shaq. And once Dwight Howard retires, and they need to put his number because they were the only team that didn't have any numbers retired up there. But again, like we were talking about this earlier. We talked about this earlier on the show. Like Mike Irvin said, no, don't retire 88 because I'm always gonna be irrelevant. If you keep 88 around, I'm going to be irrelevant, and I can agree with that. You know what I'm saying? You look at the Celtics, it's going to get to a point where they're not going to have no numbers. They're going to be 88, 87, 92.
They're going to do the triple.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those things if you look at what's going on now. But again, if you stay longer than 4 years,
this is the only team that's got to worry about that.
Yeah,
what year do you feel is like the Rams now?
Say that again. What'd you say, Matthew?
What year do you believe that is your jersey retirement?
I would say 8 years. You have to stay there 8 years. Like I'm gonna give you, and I'm gonna tell you why I say 8. You look at Kevin Garnett in Minnesota, right? He got him to the Eastern Conference. He got him to the Western Conference Finals. He won the MVP. You know, and he didn't want to leave. The only reason he left, Chauncey Billups like, yo, man, leave and go win a championship somewhere. Because he wasn't going to leave. He really was not going to leave. And he thought he's going to probably end up being a Laker before he became a Celtic. You know what I'm saying? So he was embedded in staying there regardless. You know, and it's like, yo, you gave the city enough of your blood, sweat, and tears. Now go somewhere and try to win the title. He comes to Boston. He says, man, I should have came here sooner. He said, because the love you guys giving me, I could have won some more titles, even though I felt like they could have been back to back to back if he didn't get hurt. But I think 8 years is long enough for you if you're a dominant player on your team and you break records, make records, whatever case you may do. But again, like for example, number 7, Tiny Nate Archibald wore number 7 for the Celtics. His number's not retired because he only played 3. I think he played 4 years there, and he won a title. And then after that, he got traded. So that's why that number's not up in the Raptors. It's just I guess it's a different feel for different feel for different teams. You know, but again, like Shaq got his number retired from the Lakers, the Magic, then the Heat, right? And so the same thing's probably gonna happen to LeBron. Cleveland, um, Miami, and then LA. And I'm gonna tell you right now, LA better not give him no statue. They better not give LeBron no statue. They better not give him
I hope not either.
they better not give him a statue. He's not statue worthy. He's not. He's nowhere. He's
Doesn't have no sense.
he's nowhere close to that. And what really makes me mad about this whole situation is that when they talk about the GOAT, they never ever bring Kobe's name into this. They never bring Kobe's name. That's amazing to me. He's probably one of the hardest basketball players that ever graced that floor. I remember seeing him in high school. He looked terrible, man. The coach was like, "Yo, just shoot the ball." When they won the state title, he's like, "Just shoot the ball." He told me, he said, "Don't pass the ball to nobody else, but you just shoot the ball. If somebody's open underneath the basket, give it to him. Shoot the ball." He was terrible. I left there. I was like, "There's no way this guy's going to the pros." That probably was the worst game he probably played in high school. And even though he won, but that probably was the worst game he played. But his work ethics, the way he prepared himself for the game of basketball, he didn't take no time off.
He's getting in the locker room.
And just think if he was around right now, he'd probably be one of the old dudes like, "Yo, man, what y'all doing in the All-Star game? What is that? What are y'all doing? Why are y'all disrespecting the game that I love, that I worked so hard to develop?" But this makes me mad when they talk about LeBron and they talk about Jordan, but they'll never talk about Kobe. And Kobe has five? He has 5 rings. 5 rings.
5 rings.
You know what I'm saying? But they don't put Kobe in that category. I don't know why. That
2 from Boston.
his mentality. He has 1 with Boston, 1 against Boston, not 2.
Because he can't be Jordan.
Because he can't be Jordan.
When you compare Kobe to Jordan, and he doesn't be Jordan.
But I get that. But the thing about it is, though, I'd rather be compared. If I'm Kobe, I'd rather be compared to Jordan than LeBron, because Kobe had that no nonsense attitude once he stepped on the floor like Jordan did. They didn't care who you was. You could be their brother. If you opposite of me, I'm going to tear you up. No, they said in the Olympic game, Kobe said, "Yo, I'm going to pop Paul Gasol." And went down, dunked on him right in his chest. He's like, "Well, that's your teammate." He said, "Not tonight."
That's when he ran through.
And that's what we're missing in the NBA.
Yeah.
Kobe still has the best line ever in basketball.
Who?
Kobe.
What did he say?
Shaq said, "Kobe, pass the ball. There's no I in team." Kobe says, "There's an M and E in that MF of them." That's hands down the best line I ever heard.
And if you look at that situation with Kobe and Shaq, all thing Shaq had to do was get the surgery on the off season. He's like, "I got hurt during the season. I'm gonna get it during the season." That's selfish, man. That's really selfish because you had something special going on with that team. And Shaq will tell you now that he made a mistake with that. So he made a big mistake with that because that's when he got shipped out. But again, that Mambo mentality that Kobe had, Will probably would never see that again. I don't care who he trains, Kyrie, Tatum. Tatum can't do it because Tatum's too humble. He's not. He's not that guy. He's not that guy. You know what I'm saying? He's not that guy. It's just that cut and dry. Hey, listen real quick. Jaylen Brown wants the NBA to bring down the minimum game to 58 from 65. Anybody disagree with that?
I disagree. I think the minimum should be 80. 25.
Man, listen.
No NBA
This generation is soft.
generation play 80 games.
Listen.
This generation is soft.
This generation is soft. They're making millions and millions of dollars.
I totally agree.
And you mean to tell me that you're being asked to play 80 games in the regular season and you don't want to show up?
Exactly.
You don't get paid that day.
But guys, think about this though, right? Now in this era, you get a week off for the All-Star game. You have less back-to-back games, and I guarantee you that in the future you're not gonna see no more back-to-back games no more. They're gonna figure out how to get these games in, right, without playing back-to-backs because you got guys sitting down. You got guys can't play back-to-backs. Like Al Horford can't play back-to-backs. I mean, he probably could, but they don't want to play back-to-backs because they want to save him for the playoffs. But again, Al Horford's not a superstar. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna go to a Boston game and get mad. Yeah. Ain't nobody come see Al Horford play. So again, so the commissioner gotta get a hold of this thing because he's letting it go. And when me, Dana, and Mo was talking about before, I told him, I said 70 games. I didn't say 65. I said 70 games. You got to play 70 games, at least 70 games. And
I say 70 games and then bring the NBC.
And I think the reason why I feel sad about it this year is because of the situation that Embiid's going through. Because the guy is balling. He's definitely playing. This is probably his best year of playing, other than him being injured, scoring 71. He's the catalyst that makes that Sixers team run. But now he's out for a certain amount of time, and now Mo is something else, man. I swear he's something else. But now he can't be in awards ceremony. I mean, he can't get no awards because he didn't play enough games, and he has a legitimate reason for not playing. But if you notice that Kawhi Leonard has been in with he's been in how many games he played so far? 50. He played 50-some games. I think he's played in 40 of them or 45 or something like this. This is the max. Yo, I don't know if y'all can see this. Mo has a picture of Embiid on his back screen. If you guys can go to Facebook and look at this, see, this is Mo need to stop, man. He need to stop because this is not. See, I hate the Lakers. I hate the Lakers, but I dislike the Sixers, but I respect them. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. There's definitely a difference, man. I tell you what, he's a mess, man. He's a mess.
Soft.
I don't respect who?
The ankle issue.
No, I don't respect the Lakers. I never respect the Lakers because you know what? If you can name me the last center they drafted that was that made a difference, then we can start talking.
I know. Mike
George, somebody said George Mike Kidd.
He said Bynum as well. But let me just say this.
Two centers, and George Mikan came from Minneapolis, so I don't know if you can add him into that mix either.
He was drafted by the Lakers, just not the LA Lakers.
So the
My whole thing about
the Lakers really picked up that was good.
See,
Was I mean they could try to get Paul Gasol.
The key word you said picked up.
Out to Memphis.
Key word you said picked up. You said picked up, not drafted, but picked up. Hey guys, we're gonna carry this conversation over again next Monday, but our time is up, man. I appreciate everybody that called in and came on a live feed with us. Hopefully you guys enjoy your rest of your evening. We got basketball coming up, a lot of basketball coming up. Got NASCAR. We want to give our condolences out to Dana. Dana won't be on the show for a couple of weeks. He's his dad's coming home, so he's taking care of him. You guys keep him in your prayers, everybody. Also, say a little prayer for Tiger Woods. The guy, he had the flu, and he is not participating right now in golf. So, with that being said, guys, I appreciate you again.
What's wrong with Tiger?
Tiger, he ended up having the flu, they said, and that's why he couldn't end. That's why he couldn't finish the tournament, because I think he ended up even on the one day. The next day he came back in, and they said that he felt, it felt like he didn't look good at all. So they found out he ended up having the flu, so that's why he didn't finish out the tournament. All right, guys.
In the senior circuit yet?
He's trying to stick around. That might be his next move as far as the senior circuit is concerned. I think he's trying to get that record, but I don't think it's going to happen with him, guys. All right. Hey, you guys have a good night. Be safe. Enjoy yourself, and see you next Monday.
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by K. Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, and Murray E. Baskerville from Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Big-time players make big-time plays and big-time games. Stay ready to be ready. You have been listening to an In the Zone Sports Talk Radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on star107fm.com on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support.